What's up, hustlers? So in this video, we're going to discuss how to track your calories accurately. So we all know nutrition is at least 80% of your results. So this is a really important aspect of your program to get right. Now, it can seem daunting when you're new to tracking calories, but let me assure you, with a bit of practice, it gets a lot easier and a lot less time consuming. So there are three main things I want you to bear in mind before we get into the details of how to track your food. Number one is you must track everything in advance. So what I mean by that is you have to put the ingredients into the food tracker before you actually eat it, because that way you know how much you're about to eat and what that meal is made up of, as in how much of it is protein, how much of it is carbs, how much is in fats. If you do it the other way around, if you eat your food and then go back and log what you're eating into your food tracker, you've already eaten it. So if you've overeaten on your calories and undereaten on your protein, you can't do anything about it. It's too late. So track in advance. Number two is do a bit of simple math. So for example, if your daily calorie target is 2,000 calories and you're eating 4 meals a day, divide 2,000 by 4, that's 500. So that means you're trying to average around about 500 calories per meal every time you eat. And do the same for your protein. If your target is 200 grams of protein by the end of the day, divide by that by 4 because you're eating 4 meals. So that is going to be 50 grams of protein on average in each of those meals. And that way just makes it a lot easier to quantify in your head how much you kind of need to be eating and aiming for per meal. And number three is following my 1-2-3 method. So the 1-2-3 method just refers to one breakfast option that you eat more or less every day, 2 different lunch options that you eat more or less every day, and 3 different dinner options. So this keeps it really, really simple. And that's what we need from a nutrition plan, is to make your life as easy as possible. So by eating similar meals throughout the week, you'll be able to save those meals in the food tracker, so you don't have to always enter in the individual ingredients, and that will speed things up a little bit. And also you'll obviously get to know the quantities that you need to eat because you're eating the same meals all the time, which makes your life a lot easier.
So this is how you track your calories, and you do this before you start measuring your food out and before you start eating it. That way you know how much of each ingredient you need. So go down to nutrition plans, open up that tab, and this is your food logger. So in the top left-hand corner, you can see your calorie target and your macro split. So for this particular client, they have 2,000 calories per day. They need to try and eat 200 grams of protein, 201 grams of carbs, and 44 grams of fat. So below that, you can see the add meal icon. If you click on that, and then underneath meal 1, press add food icon. And then that opens up the database here to search for the ingredients you're eating. So I'm going to show you how to use the bar scanner for the first product. So I'm going to track the Greek yogurt. So in the right side of your screen, you can see that bar scanner icon. If you click on that, that opens up the camera on your phone, and then you can try and scan the product and see if it comes up on the database. So let's do that now. So here's the Greek yogurt. And then that pulls it up onto the database. So we can see it's total 0% fat, which is the one that we're using. And then per 100 grams, you can see at the top, it says 53 calories. There's 10 grams of protein. So I'm actually going to eat 200 grams of this. So I get 20 grams of protein. So let's amend the amount at the bottom to 200. And now 200, and now you can see it's changed it at the top. We got 106 calories and it's 20.6 grams of protein. When you're happy with the amount you need, press the blue tab, add food at the bottom, and then you can see it will appear on your food tracker here. So next up, we're going to add the protein powder. So add food icon again. That opens up the database. This time I'm going to use my recent foods because I had the protein powder recently, so it should be in the recent tab. So scroll across to recent, and then that opens up all the foods that you've eaten recently, and this is what can save you a load of time. So scroll down the list, and then I can see here Raw Sport Elite protein powder. So click on that, and I had 30 grams of that, and that's 24 grams of protein. So when you're happy with the amount, press add food in the blue tab, and then again, that will add it to your meal. So we're going to add the blueberries next. So press add food icon again, and then that opens up the database. So this time we're going to search for it by typing in blueberries. and then the system brings it up. You can see at the top there's blueberries, and we're having frozen blueberries, so that's perfect. Where it has a tick next to it, that means it's been verified by a nutritionist, so you know the macros are 100% accurate. So we're going to select that one, and again you can see per 100 grams of blueberries there's 57 calories, 12 grams of carbs, and that's what we had, 100 grams. So in fact we had 107, so let's be accurate and type that in. So then that changes the calories at the top. When you're happy, press add food at the blue tab in the bottom right corner. And then you can see we've got our first meal here. So there's a summary at the top of the meal. We've had 289 calories. We've got 44.6 grams of protein. We've got 21.2 grams of carbs, and we've got 2.9 grams of fats. So when you're happy with that meal, you press complete underneath that meal. Not complete day in the white tab yet, but press complete. And then that will tick that meal off. So when it comes to your next meal, you press add meal, and then that opens up meal 2, and then add food, and then you can search for your food again. So let's say you had some chicken breast. Select chicken breast, the raw weight. You should weigh it out, and then let's say you had 200 grams or 250, because you need about 55 grams of protein. Add food. And then when you're happy with meal 2, press complete, and then it will tick it off. Now, once you've done your whole day and all of your meals are tracked, you must press complete day in the white tab at the bottom, and then that will save it on the app. Press complete day, and then you're done. And that is how you track your food. Okay guys, so we need a food scale, bowl to put on the food scale, and then we've got our ingredients: blueberries, the protein powder, and the Greek yogurt. First step, put the bowl on the scale and then turn the scale on, and then that will mean it will start at 0 grams, which is pretty important. Next up, added the Greek yogurt. I wanted 200 grams, and that's going to give me 20 grams of protein, because I've already put it in the food logger, so I know how many grams of protein I get from 200 grams. So next up, I'm going to add the blueberries. Now, when you add the next ingredients, don't forget to 0 it on the scale, so it goes back down to 0, and then we know when we pour the blueberries in how many grams of blueberries we're going to have. Now I'm aiming for 100. See if I can be accurate with my left hand here, shaking the blueberries in while filming. Let's have a look. Oi. That's good enough. 107. Okay, so I zeroed it again, and now I'm going to add the protein powder. Now with the protein powder, I know, because it says on the pack, it's 25 grams of protein per serving, per scoop. So I'm just going to add 1 scoop in, and then that's 25 grams of protein in there. All right, so then I just added a bit of water, give it a good stir. So now we've got the high protein yogurt.